salt of the earth. Yes, I made a video a while ago on this topic, salt of the earth, and in that video I made a point that I would like to elaborate on in this video. Of course, not in Iyajesu's voice, as you must have already noticed, just in my regular chat voice. Okay, so let's chat. What was the point I made in that video that I would like to elaborate on? It's the fact that as Christians who are salt of the earth, we preserve the earth. As Christians, we are stewards of God's creation. We are caretakers. Yes, God created the earth and made us the caretaker of the earth. So the responsibility to take care of the earth, to maintain it, to sustain it, to make sure it's well preserved is on us. Every other thing we do is good. Praying, intimacy with God, fellowship with God, fulfilling purpose, consecration, worship, going to church, and all of that good stuff. This one is also one of those good stuffs that we must do. How do we do that? What does this involve? For one, it involves making sustainable personal choices, both spiritually, mentally, physically, socially, and as it concerns our environment. It involves, participating in conservation projects that, conserve the earth. It involves promoting responsible use of resources of the earth. Then reduce waste. That's also another thing it involves. Reduce waste. Don't waste things. Don't waste food. You don't have to cook that much food when you know you're not going to finish it. So you cook it just to throw it away. Stop wasting food. You're not preserving the earth by wasting food. Reduce your waste. And when we talk about reducing waste, it's not just wasting food. Also involves a lot of other things. Like take, for example, recycling. Let's learn to recycle. It's not everything trash. Not everything does bin. Sometimes just, recycle stuff. You buy something in a can, you're done using it, use the can for something else. You don't have to throw it away. You can use the can for your pegs. You can use the can for your jewelries. Yeah, there's not every time you have to go out there and buy fancy stuff to pack your jewelries. Just put some cotton wool inside. Then you can use it to preserve your jewelries and other stuff. If you, are not really interested in recycling, make sure you give those stuff to people who recycle them. Like, in Lagos now, there's lawman. There's a section of lawman that does recycling, I think. So just the plastics, the cans, the things that you can recycle, pack them separately when packing your bins, so they can easily get it. Because when they come for your bin, I think where they keep the plastics are different, where they keep the bottles are different. Apart from where they keep the main dirt and all of that. Recycle books, recycle clothes, recycle stuff. That's a good way of reducing waste, because waste damages the earth. You don't know, Google it. It does. Also, if you are in a position of power, and you see people advocating for policies that, protect the environment, support it. Don't turn your eyes away. Support it, promote it, help it with your position of power. Even if you're not in a position of power, if you're just, a regular person and you're scrolling through social media and you see such being advocated for, support, a like, a share, a repost, post your story. It will help, to make the voice of those advocating for such louder. Also, plant trees. I'm sure you're like, yeah, just I'm in the city. It's a concern tree. In a village, in a village, they plant tree. Remember when I said earlier that participates in conservation projects? There are projects that aim to advocate for planting of trees and not cutting down trees. But apart from just, participating in such projects, also plant trees when you have the opportunity to. Like you have a big compound, there's nothing wrong in you just planting at least one tree. Use it for farm. Use it for farming. Plant some crops. Then also find space to plant one tree. Because tree has a way of preserving the earth. It helps with, I'm not a scientist or environmentalist, but from my little knowledge, it helps with taking the carbon dioxide and hence helping with this global warming stuff they're talking about, helping to reduce it. The funny thing I realized is that instead of people planting, they will even be cutting down trees. When we were younger, in this Lagos, not even in the village, you see a lot of compounds with trees inside, at least one tree, some of them 2 trees, depending on, how spacious the compound is. And you see people in the evening, they'll sit down under the trees, to relax and take fresh air and all of that. But now, you hardly see trees in any compound because landlords are cutting down the trees so that they can build more, flats and rooms for tenants. As a Christian, it's not all about money. It's not all about money. That tree, don't cut it down. Leave it there. It's preserving the earth. We are the caretakers of this earth. And as salt of the earth, one of our duties is to preserve the earth. And I guess that's it. That's all I have. All right, yeah, Jesu here.